Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in. And let's talk about a few things. So first and foremost, we are starting with this quote, or this tweet, sorry, from Anderson on Twitter. And he's talking about the XRP Ledger. And we do see, soon the XRP Ledger will, most likely have NFTs, and probably the new AMM amendment will be implemented. The XRP Ledger is getting better all the time with new and better features, while others are trying to upgrade just to make their chain functional. Pay attention. And yeah, sure, it is going to take a little bit of time, to test this out and implement fully. But listen, if there's one thing that the XRP development team has proven, it's the fact that they, are making major strides. They're making major moves, and they have not slowed down at all. Similar to HBAR, I've been talking to you guys about, these tokens during this bear market. And, most people, they do feel they feel like it is a bear market. But to me, for someone who is focused on the fundamental success and the fundamental, growth behind these projects, it does not feel like a bear market. And I really do hope that there's other people out there that do feel this way. If you do, comment down below. But we have just seen so many major announcements for Ripple. We have seen so many major announcements around XRP adoption within on-demand liquidity corridors. And when we look at the XRP Ledger as well, there's so much to look forward to, especially XLS20. I think that that's going to open the doors for a lot more volume as well as a lot more value to be moved over the XRP Ledger. Remember, NFTs are huge. Hedera has made incredible strides within the NFT sector, and I think that with the XRP Ledger and what the XRP Ledger harnesses within the power source of it, I think that this could be something special. And I think that the community around XRP NFTs is going to grow substantially. And remember, the XRP, community around NFTs has been flooding into the HBAR NFT sector too. So, these two chains have been kind of working together in regards to the community sense, which is very exciting to see. And also, this is mainly, directed towards this video of David Schwartz talking about, the XRP Ledger. And this is at the Apex conference. Listen closely to this. It's only a short little video. And we actually do have the quote down here from XRP Crow. We'll talk about that here in a second. But listen closely.
Awareness of the XRP Ledger as a layer one option has been increasing. Those speeds, fees, scalability, low energy uses, and I think the track record, 10 years running, and the built-in DEX, tokenization, sourcing efficient liquidity. The XRP Ledger rises to the fore as a core opportunity to differentiate against other chains with these features.
And again, a lot of these features are very similar to other layer ones. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, this is extremely different than all other layer ones. No, it's not. But I will say this. A lot of the efficiencies around the XRP Ledger makes it very special. I think that the biggest one is the built-in decentralized exchange, but also that sourcing liquidity area is a big focus point within XRP. But one thing I think that makes the XRP Ledger extremely special is the proven track record of the 10 years running. Knowing that you can count on something as it has been tried and true for over 10 years is something special, because it makes it a viable source for a lot of these utility cases to be built upon, as well as knowing that you can trust it. It is secure. That's huge. That 10 years is something special. That's what makes it extremely incredible compared to most of the other layer ones out there. Having that statistic behind it is something that anyone that is in the XRP community should cheer for, because that 10-year span is huge, especially when you have enterprise grade use cases being built upon it or major financial use cases being built upon it. Like, all of that plays a vital role in the major adoption era for the XRP Ledger. Now, also, I do want to share with you guys another video from David Schwartz that a lot of you are probably all aware of, and this is coming from Riz XRP over on Twitter. Listen closely, it's about 53 seconds. This is a very common video. I bring it back up again now because we are going to be discussing a few things within it.
We have the technology to allow every financial institution on the planet to settle with every other financial institution in a compatible jurisdiction in any asset in seconds for less than a penny. Just think about this. anyone who's made a payment knows that we're nowhere near that today. But imagine every financial institution settling with every other financial institution in seconds for less than a penny, any asset. That's fundamentally transformative. We have the technology to do it. Now we just need to figure out how to drive the adoption. And of course, there's all the challenges with there's incumbents, there's regulation, there's inertia. There's the there's big players who are really trying to defend. If you're one of the largest banks in the world, you want to push pause or stop on technology, because you're in the lead. So of course, you say you love technology, but obviously you wish you could stop it. So,
and I bring this up, because I think that we're at this moment in time where if you are an XRP holder and you have been holding XRP for a while, you're getting extremely frustrated. You're seeing, regulations being sort of delayed, drug out. There's not a clear sort of viewpoint on them. And it can get very frustrating. You're holding these assets for years and years and years, and there's no major price reflection on, all this extremely good news. But I also want you guys to understand that XRP was the main target source from the SEC. And why is that? Well, these banks are targeting it. These banks are extremely scared of what XRP has morphed into from Ripple's standpoint. Ripple has not slowed down at all. In fact, they have been making incredible moves. Going back to, 2012 to even 2017, 2018, which in that short amount of time, that, 6 or so year time frame. In those 6 years, Ripple really hit the accelerator, and they expanded so fast. And it kind of reminds me of what just happened in the last 2 years since the inception of this SEC lawsuit. You would think that, a company like Ripple, who is, spending astronomical amounts of money on this legality case, you would expect them to slow down. You'd expect them to say, okay, yeah, sure, we'll take the settlement. Because it's so easy for these big banks, these major players behind the monopoly system, to come in and say, hey, you could have your name cleared. You could continue to, play whatever game you're trying to play here. All you have to do is settle out. But they didn't want that. They wanted a clear path for XRP. Why is that? Because not only do they have a clear mission statement behind XRP as a token, but also as a utility case token, but they also want to make sure that, listen, at the end of the day, they want crypto to be here to stay. They want innovation to continue to, move further. They want to see this market morph into what it could essentially become. This market is not just your typical, oh, all right, yeah, sure, like this NFT looks cool, or, oh, yeah, the metaverse is going to be here, or Web3, this is what. No, this market is so much bigger than that. What David Schwartz did say in this video, having all of these financial institutions being able to settle within seconds globally, sourcing liquidity on demand, like that is such a substantial use case alone. It's something that is not, perceivable to the most individuals. Like, try to describe on-demand liquidity to someone. Most people don't even understand, the payment mechanism, the payment rails that we are actually utilizing on a day-to-day basis. Figuratively speaking, when you actually look at what Ripple has solved, it is something that they have been trying to solve for so many years. But technically, I would say this. It has already been solved in the past. There just was never light brought to it. And I think that that's the biggest issue within XRP. But I think that XRP being targeted, Ripple being targeted, solidifies its role within the future monetary system. And I actually think it's a good thing that XRP and Ripple has been targeted so early on. Because remember, we are extremely early in the space. And I do think that it opens the door for a lot more innovation to continue to happen within the XRP community with Ripple. And talking about David Schwartz yet again, and of course Anderson here with Wojak in conversation. We do see here, I believe this could be a big deal. Recap back in July, David wrote this, planned secret sauce. Come on, now it seems the AMM implementation for XRP Ledger is close. And they're actually talking about incentivizing arbitrageurs to burn liquidity tokens. And this is going to be pretty beneficial to liquidity providers at the end of the day. It's all focused on liquidity. In regards to like the aspects of what XRP does provide here, it's going to be a huge liquidity sourcing token, meaning a lot of value is going to be derived from XRP, and you're going to be seeing a lot more, incentivizing happening here. And we do see down here, let's go back to Bob Way, former Ripple employee. He spoke about a mechanism that would position XRP in the bridge asset position in perpetuity. And we do see down here the last algorithm that RippleNet needs to drive XRP into the bridge currency position and also to maintain it there in perpetuity. But that algorithm won't necessarily be the first one employed to help XRP along that path. There are other ad hoc ways that might be simpler to implement and more effective for the initial corridors that companies want to deploy. And then down here we do see sound familiar. He also mentions pool a couple of times, makes us think of the secret X pool. And we do see down here as well, if your resource was water and you kept it in a pool in your yard, you might get sick of swimming and want to convert that to a pool filled with dirt. And there's quite a bit of discussions around this, more so kind of just focused on liquidity itself. And we do see down here, Bob also said it would maximize the profit for the market makers while minimizing incentive transfer to market makers. That also sounds familiar since, by my understanding, with AMM suggestion, MM would make more profit taken from arbitrageurs. And we do see down here, like, of course, that patent works for any resource system, but if you implied the invention to money sources or resources, then it would work as you explain. If your application for the patent, it would maximize the profit for the MM while minimizing the incentive transfer to market makers. And then last but not least, we do see, and once again, pool. And this is from Wojake. The amendment will allow XRP Ledger users to deposit, withdraw, and govern on an AMM instance pool. The most interesting part about this amendment is it incentivizes liquidity providers on the native decentralized exchange, which improves XRP's bridging feature as there's more liquidity, focusing on the bridge currency aspect around XRP. And this is huge. And we do see down here, just listen to Schwartz. This pretty much confirms he thinks this is a major deal. It also seems to me they've waited quite a while to implement this. Perhaps time is right. And yeah, listen closely to this. This is about a 2-minute long video, but it really kind of just talks about the AMM specification feature on the XRP Ledger, which I do think that is substantial to where, you know, Ripple is trying to position XRP.
Built around it. The XRP Ledger's DEX is built around a simple central limit order book rather than an automated market maker. But I think if you have both of them, I think this is a case where it just blows away OR. The automated market maker addresses most of the pain points that people face in the decentralized liquidity landscape today. So the DEX launched in 2012. It allowed tokenization of any kind of asset and the ability to trade and move them in just seconds on chain. It provided like globally competitive liquidity, but there was no way to get yield, and sometimes there just wasn't the sort of liquidity that people might need. So RippleX focused on differentiating our DEX with automated market making in conjunction with the central limit order book and integrated with payments so that these three features work together to provide a feature set that is unmatched. This is not everybody else has automated market makers, now we have them too. This is everybody else had automated market makers because they couldn't build an order book. Imagine an order book on Ethereum. If you think about how order books work, as prices change, people place offers at different rates. They cancel previous offers. If it costs you $13 to place an offer that nobody's likely to take, just to provide liquidity in case someone needs it, that's completely untenable. If your transactions take 10 minutes to confirm, you can't track price changes. We have our own order book because we can, and the functionality of both of them together is just, I don't have words to convey how excited I am about this feature. In October, we're very hopeful that developers will be able to use and test an early version on the developer network so people can build front-end UIs, integrate with new applications, and understand the features that it can provide. I would love to do the whole talk on the automated market maker and get really deep in the weeds, and I'm going to have to fight myself not to get very technical because this is sort of engineering perfection that certain things have. Any one of you who's worked on something, it doesn't have to be software, it could be cars, it could be bicycles, but anything where you're building something, you reach a point where like everything works together and it just fits really nice, and you're like, yes, this is like really nice. And then there'll be a couple warts somewhere, but they really stand out because the rest of the design is so great, and we're reaching that point.
And you could definitely tell how excited he is. And also, I do apologize for the volume being a little bit low on that video. That was it maxed out. So I don't know why that was so low compared to most of the other videos. But nonetheless, you know, he's talking about how this could be tested in October and it could launch very soon. We do still see the liquidity, hub launching in this year. Again, is that, a huge innovation, with XRP? Not necessarily, but I'm very, very excited for this because, again, like he was saying, having something like this on the Ethereum network, for an example, would be a huge innovation. But you simply cannot have that when you're having $13 transactional fees or $13 fees in general. This is a problem with Ethereum. And this is a huge implementation. This is a huge innovation. I do think that this is going to well position, XRP to be that bridge currency that everyone has been discussing for so long. And I think that this was the thing that was missing. I think that this was, in David Schwartz's quote here, the secret sauce. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this people world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.